So I got to admit, this is a new one on me, but the man, he didn't think I noticed, and I didn't for the longest time, and I waited for a long time to make sure I was right. But what the man does is when he makes himself a really nice sandwich, one of his favorite sandwiches, he takes some Gouda, he takes some really nice artesian whole wheat, and he puts a small slab, he toasts it, he puts on the other side, he puts a really high-dollar, delicious tartar sauce. Beautiful tartar sauce you can only get at the food city. It's like $6. Normally tartar sauce is like $3.50, $4. It's a $6 jar. It comes in a glass jar. It's the best tartar sauce yet. It's to die for, this tartar sauce. And he puts tartar sauce on the other, but he puts thin slices of cucumber, and then he puts tuna steak on top of the cucumber, on the layer of the cucumber. It's delicious. It's a beautiful, delicious sandwich. And he gets corn chips. Sometimes he gets sea salt, Cape Cod, Call the Wild chips. Those kind of chips that they have where they put them in a kettle and they fish them out and they rub them around on the ground. It's called Call the Wild. They're delicious. They're the best potato chips. And they're kettle cooked, so they almost break your teeth when you eat them. You can clean the enamel off your teeth with these chips. And he sits down, and the trick the man's got now, he sits down this delicious sandwich, just like a restaurant quality sandwich. He sits down to a sandwich and he flips through Netflix or he fishes around on Prime or Yoohoo until he goes to a part of a movie where somebody's sitting down and having a meal. Like he did it the other day. It was, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Columbo. Somebody was sitting down and looked like they were having a delicious meal. They were like lifting up big round, whatever you call, like a igloo, like a silver igloo with a handle, and you lift it up and there's a plate of food under the igloo, and they were sitting around a table and they were having a delicious lunch, and the man, he almost starts chit-chatting with them. But I noticed he finds his favorite lunch scenes. It could be in a diner, could be at a restaurant. Usually it's kind of more of a casual lunch setting, but he goes and he finds people that are already in a movie scene. And he fast forward to that movie scene, and he sits there and he eats his lunch or his sandwich or his dinner with the other people in that scene. And the way I caught it was he was rewinding. He'll rewind to go back to the beginning, like he gets to the end of the scene, or he wants to go back and relive the favorite part 2 or 3 times, But he's sharing his meals with the people in those scenes that he's editing, so to speak, and getting right to the heart of a lunch scene. And he's having lunch with people in movies on Netflix or on the Hulu or on the Prime. It's kind of a lonely, kind of a weird thing, but I mean, it's pretty ingenious. I was like, God, he's not alone anymore. Look, he's even talking to the TV. He's like having a conversation. He rewinds 5 or 6 times, and he gets, when somebody says yes or no, and he poses them questions like the 8 ball, like you're talking to the 8 ball and you're shaking up, and the person always says yes because he's just rewinding when they say yes, but he might ask it 4 or 5 questions. Do you think this is a pretty good lunch? And yes, and then it rewinds. He goes, do you think I should invest in Ford Motor Company? And then it rewinds it, and he just says yes. 4 or 5 yeses, and then he usually lets it play a little bit. But he's sharing his meal with other people in the movie scenes on the Netflix or what have you. And it's pretty ingenious. I mean, it's kind of incredibly sad. And when you watch it over and over and you see this playing out over a long period of time, you're like, God bless, this is kind of be a problem for this guy, But hey, it is what it is. So, whatever. It's okay.